Well, Maximus, welcome. First one in. Greetings, scrappers, scrapettes, planet lovers, friends of the channel, and all you wonderful people out there in YouTube and TikTokville. Well, today's plans... Hi, cool CD. Today's plans totally got scrubbed, no pun intended. I was out at a birthday party for my lovely little 3-year-old great niece. And boy, when I tell you the heavens opened, the kids didn't care. They were out, they were in the pool, and we had to go haul them all in because of the thunder, you know, and such. But, so I am home, and I got soaked. I will apologize for being a little redundant. You guys know I really don't like to post multiples of the same, but I have piles of these IBM memory modules to do, and I've sold a lot of the e-scrap already that I had processed, so I need to get some more. We sold, this bag was full. I sold 2 of these 5-pound bags of these pins. These are the pins I get out of these. Really beautiful for gold recovery, huh? Those will be in my eBay store once I get some more done. I want to try to at least get 2 bags done. These are very easy to process. I wound up going to the scrapyard today, which I did not intend to do. Dwayne, welcome. But my other nephew, he had to replace the deck on his John Deere tractor, and he had no other way to get it to the scrapyard except by me. And, you know, these good to me, so I didn't mind. I went over, threw it into the pickup truck. See how easy these are to take off, guys? I mean, if you just leave this on the board and sell it off to your buyer, you're missing out on some value for yourself. Not that I'm saying you should short your buyer. I wouldn't do that. My buyer already knows I take this stuff off, and it's not a problem. It's really not. What becomes a problem is if you start taking this stuff off, yeah, then your buyer's not going to be real happy with you. So, hi Dave, how are you? So, like I said, I've got all these to do, and hello Real Talks, welcome. So, I figured, well, I've got all this to do. I've got tons of stuff to scrap, and yeah, as we'll see up. Didn't see anybody else really on. Southern Scrapper already went off, and then OTD was on this morning, so I kind of just jumped on with an extra here to do. We did very well on these. The feedback I got from the couple of people who have already purchased them, I sent a couple out to some people as samples. They were very pleased with the quality of the pins. This board is from 2011. These are IBM memory modules. So when I fill this bag, it'll be 5 pounds. And this bag's actually already sold. But I want to try to get 2 or 3 more bags of this up tonight while I'm sitting here watching movies. Oh my god. The heavens just opened, I'll tell you. I hope, hello Brian, I hope that this storm gets up into Canada. I live not too far from the New York state line, and Canada has been getting really, God help them, terrible wildfires, and we're getting all the smoke from it here, and of course they need some rain to get a handle on that, so thoughts and prayers for their friends over the border, that this rain that we had today gets up there and gives those firefighters a hand. It's too bad, really. It just makes the air so unhealthy, you know. So, there we go, just like that. I don't know how much I get out of each one, but I know when the bag is full, it's about 5 pounds, and that's how I sell it. Teep, teep, Pete. Welcome. Please, guys, don't forget to hit the like. Just double tap. It doesn't cost a thing, and you know, I'd love to have your support. That's a nice thing. So these boards, I have negotiated with my buyer to purchase. He will purchase these as telecom high boards for me. You can see I'm soaking wet. I got absolutely soaked. Anyway, but I'm sitting here. I actually, seems crazy, but I have a heater on in the middle of summer. This broke off, so I'll show it to you. This is inside one of the RAM modules, RAM holders. Look at that. Look at the gold in this thing. So my board buyer, and I took a picture. I said, you know, this is really an exceptionally good board. As a matter of fact, many buyers just did an upgrade on how they are purchasing e-scrap. The I-Series plastic boards got downgraded. Recycle for me, welcome. Thank you for the like, Dave Donahue. I always appreciate it. Alberto Diaz, welcome. But they upgraded some boards and downgraded others. The more current gaming style boards and the I-Series boards are not as good for gold recovery, thus downgraded. But even this is what you get out of the RAM on these. Look at that. That's amazing. So this board, very rich in gold, dated 211. You're going to find prior to 2020, most of your boards have a lot more gold-bearing components. And this is what's happened. They've now adjusted to that because of the amount of plastic rubbish in some of the new ones. Hey, OTD, thank you. Appreciate that. So when you get something like this, right, there's going to be gold pins on the other side. That makes this board very valuable to a refiner. The value is inside of the board. I mean, sure, you know, home gamers can nip off all this for gold recovery. This, definitely gold in there. There's this. But just, you know, again, this was an IBM memory module, and I purchased 250 the other day, and I just went back and got another 100. The gentleman needed to get rid of them. I needed stuff for content, and made everybody happy. So yeah, we're selling. I'll have these for sale in my eBay store. Very high quality gold pin. But this was all of this stuff factored into the downgrade that a lot of the server boards got. The less gold, the less they're going to pay for them now. So they really they cut back quite a bit on that. Okay, this board's ready to be shipped out. They're going to buy it for me as a high-grade telecom board because I asked. And I have a good rapport with my buyer, and I wrote to him. I said, "Dear buyer, look, I would like you to take a good close look at this board." And they would have sold it as what's called an AMD board. And I said, "There's no way, and you know where, that I'm selling this as an AMD board. It's not." And so he took some pictures and he looked at it really close and he said, "No, I will buy those from you at the highest grade, which is something called telecom boards." All right. Again, I'm not really looking to be redundant by doing a whole bunch of the same thing, but my problem is I got to get these processed because I got e-scrap orders to. Fill. Let me grab another one. What I'm actually doing is I'm stripping these in parts, so to speak. I sold quite a bit of the RAM that I took out of these. I've already sold. Matter of fact, I went and shipped it this morning. And so what I'm trying to do is get restocked with stuff I know should sell tomorrow for me. So that's it. And then I have 2 orders I have to fill. So it kind of, it affects my content because I got to take care of my peeps first. Okay. Some of them didn't have any RAM. Some of them were chunky chock full. And some of them were half and half. So what we got out of these, and some of you I know saw this already, and again, I apologize. I don't mean to be, I apologize for kind of scrapping out the same thing. I don't like to do that, but I got to get these orders filled. And I did want to show you a little bit more about what we're going to recover out of this. if you get a chance to buy IBM memory modules, grab them. You probably get, I mean, the copper they paid me $3.49 this morning for. That was the other part of why I wanted to put this video up today. You guys have heard me fussing and fighting, not so much fighting, but fussing with the scrapyard over some of the pricing. But what's happened is now they're getting used to me, and I'm getting used to them, and we've got a little bit better rapport going. And, you know, I'm not one to really lose my temper and fly off the handle. That's just not my style. You know, I'll say my piece, and I'll walk away and be done with it, because, you know, then I'll bitch about it the rest of the day to myself. Or my poor subscribers. So anyway, what he did, because they promised me Bear Bright the other day on something that was Bear Bright, and I didn't get it, and I got a little, you know, ticked about it because I was promised it, blah, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So when I went in today, I went and I addressed the scale boss again about what I had, and I was nice about it. You know, I said, look, I said, I understand how this works. You know, if you put it into the wrong bin, you sell it out as Bear Bright, and it's not Bear Bright, it gets rejected, you get in trouble. I get that. I said, I understand how that works for aluminum. I understand how that works for copper. I said, I get it. I said, believe it or not, I've been doing this a very long time. And it was funny because I have all these guys hanging around talking to me about e-scrap and scrap and this, that. I think they're just like they just like my truck is what it is. But, you know, and I said, I really do understand that. He said, yeah. He said, we just had a big order get downgraded. In Texas, they had shipped a tractor trailer of Bear Bright copper, and somebody at their yard, when they made the bale, didn't check it, and some of the copper wire had aluminum in it, so the whole yard got rejected. The whole load got rejected. They were going to ship it back up to Connecticut, but fortunately this metal company had a plant in Houston. They had to go get it, but they had to eat it. You know, so, I mean, I told him, I said, I understand that. I said, but we took this apart. I said, I took it apart and I showed you there is no silver paste or aluminum in here. I said, this is Bear Bright. And, you know, back and forth we went blah, 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 blah. And they agreed with me because we took one apart together. So this is okay. This I'll get Bear Bright for. This, when I get it apart, I'll show you why it's not Bear Bright. Well, right now because it's got this thing in it. You know, so I get it. The same thing with aluminum, guys. If there's any screws or anything on your aluminum, and it goes through their baler, and their buyer runs it with a magnet, and there's metal in there, they're going to reject the whole load. Not by the pound, by the truckful. So, you know, you got to understand that about the scrapyard. Welcome. I see some new names aboard. Dave Donahue, hello. I hope all is well, my friend. Patrick, hello. Dwayne, welcome. So the quality of the RAM was very, very good in these. I sold all the RAM I picked out the other day. This is actually 8 gigabytes. See, I'm soaking wet. My brain is wet. 8 gigabytes of very good server RAM. Some of the server RAM will have a CPU-like device here. Most of you guys who like to do gold refining, this is the kind of RAM you want. You don't want the DDR chip on here. So, and again, for those of you who saw my video last night, I do apologize for the redundancy. It's just, I've got to get these processed because I got a lot of stuff I got to get sold off today. Southern Scrapper bought a whole bunch of RAM. He is doing the coolest set of videos right now. And a lot of you I know follow Southern Scrapper, as do I. And he's been doing... Thank you, Dave, for the gifts. Thank you, OTD. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate that very much. Tanglewood? Understood. Oh, Underground. Tanglewood. Is that like Tanglewood where the Boston Pops used to perform? I used to love that. I used to love to go to Boston and go to Tanglewood's when John Williams was in charge of the Boston Pops Orchestra. Man, this is a brilliant man. He just turned. Let's gold! You're right, Gold Recovery. And Patrick Williams, you're awesome too. John Williams is really awesome, an awesome composer. He wrote all the music for Star Wars and Superman. The man has written billions of pieces. And, you know, I would always get season tickets. I love driving out. I loved going to Tanglewoods. That was a lot of fun. Back in the day, of course, now he's older and he's retired. And, you know, I don't care to drive to Boston anymore. It's not a bad drive, but just the traffic in Connecticut is ridiculous. So yeah, those of you who I saw last night, I talked to last night, you all know I was going to go to a party for my 3-year-old niece today. The kids were hysterical. It was pouring. I mean, pouring buckets of rain like you wouldn't believe. It's like I just stood outside and took a shower since my bathroom and sink is torn down here. These are brass, by the way. Always want to check those. These are brass. These are not. Actually, wait a minute. I take that back. These are brass. These are not. These are steel. They stick. I don't think they're stainless. I think they're just regular steel. I just got to chuck them in with my light iron. All right. Regular steel. I just got to chuck them in with my light iron. All right. You gotta get it all, guys, is what it comes down to. Yeah, hi, Gold Recovery. We're doing very well with these. These are IBM Blade module, memory modules that I've been, unfortunately, scrapping a lot of these on the channel the past couple of days, but right now I have got to, like I said, I've got to get a bunch of this processed, because if I can get it processed, I can sell it. I never, ever, 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 ever will put something up for sale unless it is ready and in my hands and in the box ready to be shipped. That's a good way to get in trouble. So that's what I'm doing tonight. So anyway, I was telling you guys, I went to the scrapyard this morning to help my nephew. Pasta sauce! I just made a batch of vodka penne sauce. Oh, not bad if I say so myself. So anyway, getting back to the scrapyard, I had quite a few of these ready to go. I was going to take them on Monday, and I took them with me. And as I said, I had a very professional, very polite, very long discussion with the scale boss again over the issue of fair payment. And again, you know, we've been back and forth, and I understand where he's at, and, you know, I think he understands where I'm at too. And what he wound up doing is they upgraded me to a premium customer, which I thought was pretty nice. And even says on my receipt, premium customer. So they upgraded me, which means because I clean my stuff as well as I do, I'm going to get a little bit more per pound. You know, so you treat people nice. You treat them with respect. You present your point of view. You listen to theirs. And fortunately, I think we have come to consensus. I hope so, because I'm tired of getting myself upset. So anyway, I took my nephew's John Deere tractor deck over to the scrapyard. And they paid me HMS for it, which I was surprised. I was sure it was going to go into just a shred, but they did upgrade me. Is this worth a lot of money? Oh, Patrick Williams has lit up the roses. Thank you, Patrick. Xerxes 306, I think it says. Are these worth a lot of money? Not anymore. They're not as far as resale. The gentleman I got these from, he owns an IT recovery service. He certainly tried to resell them. And if he couldn't, I certainly can't. The problem is it's just really old technology. These are from 2011. They're 20. It's not 2025. You know, they're old. So they don't work. I see a lot of them on eBay, but I know for a fact they just do not sell well. Got to make sure, guys, if you're doing any kind of electronics, you got to have a whole set of Torquey screws. You're going to need them, especially these smaller sizes. I picked these up There's like 10 different little bits that go into the handle. Like so, there's 2 on each one. And I got a whole bunch of those. I've been saying the hardest thing lately is trying to even get E-scrap. Hello, Opa. Welcome to the channel. And like I said, I know you've seen me take a few of these apart already, but I don't know. I'm soaking wet. I got so wet. Ugh. And of course, we have no gas and no water in the house right now because of my flood. All that had to be shut off. I've got electricity. I won't complain. I've got no hot water. I have water, but I don't have any hot water. So I am soaking wet and freezing cold. I have a heater on over there. The kids were hilarious. We had to go. We were at a 3-year-old party, and my nephew Eric had a splash pad up for the kids. You think those kids wanted to come in out of that splash pad? We had to go carry them, and they were screaming and kicking and yelling, but we were worried about thunder, you know. D-scraps, E-scraps, Evan. Like D-E-E, my name is D, so D-scraps, E-scraps. I had the handle Scrappy D at one point, but when I tried to find myself on YouTube, I came across let's just say, an adult content version of Scrappy D, and I don't want people to think that that was me. So I haven't quite figured out what to do with these CPUs yet. Bar 57, welcome. Alan, welcome. Ethan, welcome. I see you're a new user. Well, welcome aboard. Yeah, like I said, basically what I'm just doing today is I'm going to just try to get some of my E-scrap orders processed and bagged up and so on and so forth. And hopefully answer some questions about E-scrap. I usually put on my posts, if I put anything new into the eBay store for scrap purposes, I usually put a post in there so you know it's there. Right now I don't have too much left in there. That's a good problem to have, I guess. So like I said, since the weather's so absolutely dismal today, I'm just going to scrap stuff and try to get some stuff up to sell. So these are IBM chips, 552Y 4089 power CPUs. Look how yellow this is. This is so rich in gold. But the thing is, it's not pinned. So because it's not pinned, they may just pay as what they call a pinless CPU. I'm not selling it for that price as just a scrap CPU. This is something I'm going to look a little bit more about. And it's really pretty. It's pretty. Angel, welcome. Dwayne, welcome. So this is just an interesting chip. I will have almost 200 of them by the time I'm done. It's nice. The only thing I really have to get ready are the things that I'm going to be selling and putting up on eBay. So that's again why I'm focusing on something I've already scrapped for you, which you guys know I really don't like to do. One other thing I got out of these, and I will be getting out of these, there was a copper heat sink on here, like this, and here. So this could be a slot processor card. I don't think it is, so I think it's going to be a Goldfinger card. Let me get this guy off. Angel Lewis, welcome. Thank you so much, so many of you who are hitting the gifts and just hitting the likes and everything else. I appreciate that. Nice thing to have going on a rainy Saturday. So this is actually copper here, and this is copper here, which was interesting. I got to put those aside. I don't know if I can pop this off like an IC chip. Again, that's for further consideration. But I am trying to get these processed. For me, this would sell as what we call a Goldfinger card. The epitome of Goldfinger cards, everybody says, is RAM. And the epitome of these chips is RAM. But RAM right now, even at Most of the buyers that I sell to, they're buying it at 34 and change. You're right, Patrick. We get there. Guys, if you're into micro scrapping, definitely check out Patrick Williams' channel. That gentleman scraps things that I've never thought to scrap. He does. He scraps all kinds of cool stuff. Me, I'm pretty much just into computers. So this is possibly more of a flashing type of gold, but it's older, and I've my thought on these, and you've heard me say this before, instead of buying a whole honkin' server that weighs tons of pounds, that doesn't have a lot on it for the home gamer, why not buy something like this? These are called peripheral cards. And not just me. I mean, there's a billion people in one. Oh, Patrick, you're talking about getting a rapport up with your scrapyard so they know, so they deal with you a little better. You're right. It was not easy, and you certainly heard me go through it all last week, but today it finally was worth it. I think if any of you have heard me, my short series called Screwed at the Scrapyard, you'll understand. Today, I got redeemed at the scrapyard. So something like this, I personally will sell as a gold finger card, and that's what my buyer will buy it as. So not only do you have the gold fingers, there's quite a few chips. There's quite a bit here for gold recovery. Not as much as RAM, but RAM, you're going to pay $40 a pound for it. This you're going to pay $5 or $6 a pound for. So sometimes there are other places for gold recovery besides just RAM. Have any of you guys been watching Southern Scrapper's Ramathon? He bought a whole bunch of I'd have to check that Midjong Gotti, I think it is. I have to convert the pounds to kilos because I don't know how. Southern Scrapper, I was like literally just talking about you. Ask anybody, I was just talking about you. Hey, you spoke me up. I did. I was just telling people about your amazing scrap marathon with RAM. And I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it, but I want to. 38. Did that go up? It was 34 the other day, I think, Patrick, last time you commented. 34 kilo. I did, Southern Scrapper. If you want to chuck a link in there to your channel, guys, if you want to check out RAM recovery and gold recovery, you got to check out Southern Scrapper. He's been at it for the past 2 weeks, scrapping out and refining gold from RAM. I wonder where he got all that great RAM from. So anyway, see how much fun this is? That's really funny. I mentioned his name and he appears. 38 yesterday. Yeah, ours all went up this week too, Patrick. Board Throat went up a lot this week. I mean, they also have changed all of their grading. Oh, you're welcome, Southern Scrapper. Glad to do so. Thanks for the shout out you gave me today too. That was really nice of you. I officially sold out of E-Scrap this afternoon. That's what I'm doing today, is trying to get more stuff ready to sell. So this will go as number 2 copper. This I can hit off with a hammer. It'll pop off, no problem. This will not be bare bright because there's thermal paste in here. And I know because I knocked one completely apart. If I was to break off this fin, there's going to be aluminum paste on the... You know I'm a musician, right? But even if I break this off... Oh, wait a minute now. Yeah. See, I don't know if it'll show up really well, but there's a paste here. This is like an aluminum paste where they've soldered this to this. That makes it number 2. Bare bright can't have any contamination. And again, this was exactly what I spoke to the scrapyard about. And that's what we did. We pulled a couple of these apart. And this has got to go as number 2 copper because it's got other contaminants on it. And they got devalued really bad. And he showed me what... I couldn't believe that any of his guys let aluminum wire go through his copper. So this, even this has to go as this will go as light copper anyway, so that's number 2 regardless. But yeah, if there's any contaminant on it whatsoever, not dirt, but a contaminant, like in this case, there's aluminum here, then it has to go as number 2. If I wanted to, and I don't, for 30 cents more a pound, no I don't, especially since they're being kind to me right now, I could take all these fins off, I could take the grinder, and I could and try to get it bare bright. That's time consuming. I don't really want to do that. I'll be very happy with number 2 for this. But just so you understand, this paste right here that solders this to the board, that's why you have to sell this as number 2. This gets knocked off, it's irrelevant. 3 whacks with the hammer, and off it goes. If I'm really in a bad mood, I can do it in 2. See this one? If I take this apart, there's no paste under here, and I already know because I've done it. So this can go as bare bright. That's the difference. Alright. Onward. Hi Jeremiah, how are you? Dragon Davidson, welcome. The aluminum is used to reduce the price to manufacture. No, I think it's used as a bonding agent and probably heat conductor. Yeah, 3450 at Board Sort, Southern Scrapper on the RAM. That's up, by the way. Yeah, no, the aluminum is that's used to distribute heat, thermal paste, things like that. So, but that's it's cheaper for them to use aluminum to bond copper to copper than to use copper to bond copper to copper. Basically, if it's going to go as number 1 copper, it's all got to have been made in one piece, like in a form or some such thing. So, but like I said, we reached what I think was an extremely fair compromise. They're just going to pay me a little bit better on all of it, and it'll be a wash. I think that's reasonably fair. I didn't win on this one. I wanted extruded aluminum for it after I cleaned it off. He said, we'll just give you a little better price all the way around. But see, I sort my stuff. I go in, it's all sorted. They just got to go in, they just got to double check it with the scale boss, and off it goes. It also pays to have your stuff sorted. Ah, God. Come on. These are the ones that are steel. The riser posts that I got out of here, those were brass. This is steel. Hang on that for a second. I want to try to get some of these gold finger cards ready to sell. So Southern Scrapper, tell me, how much did you wind up getting in gold recovery per pound of RAM, ballpark? I know you did quite a bit, and I've been following some of it, but I didn't catch your entire video today. Sure. That was the other thing I said to them. I said, I really like your yard. It's very well run. It's very safe. They're in and out. You're not dealing with machines and trucks. It's a very well run yard. And the guys were really good about helping me get that gosh damn mower deck out of my truck. Oh my God, that thing must have weighed 200 pounds. And they were very kind and very gentle and didn't hurt Big Red. So I had a bunch of computers in the car, so we got talking again. I told him, I said, you waste so much money just selling E-Scrap and Gaylord boxes for a cheap price out the door. And I showed him. I took a couple apart for him right there in the store. I said, so you sell these for how much a pound? He said, well, around 40 cents. I said, okay, 40 cents. So there's 2 pounds here. I said, this 2 pounds worth of computer scrap is worth about 10 if you take it apart. And I showed him. I priced it out for him, did it right then and there, boom, boom, boom. I said, they're throwing away money. And he said, so if you ever want somebody to go in and talk to the head honchos, I'd be glad to do so. But I don't think they're going to. It's a metal management company. They don't really want to do anything with E-Scrap. But I still maintain, I think more and more yards are going to get involved with doing E-Scrap. The problem is going to be finding older E-Scrap, like this stuff. The newer stuff, yeah, no problem finding it because it's cheap crap and it burns out. You see so many small form computers that just completely burned out. They've got what they call an integrated motherboard, so there's no CPU really. There's not a lot of RAM. There's just nothing to it. It's like a bare bones basic computer. I picked those things up by the truckful, and they're not even that old. Sometimes you can find an i-series in there, which is kind of cool. But the i-series boards just got a big downgrade because of the amount of plastic and the decline in the amount of gold. So those just got downgraded. This all happened this week, by the way, with the whole restructure of how they're going to grade boards. And that's already hit me. It hit my last load that went out. I was just on the plus side is we're going to get paid better for our older boards. So I think it was a very fair overhaul. Tons of work. I'll get something on that next week. BoardSort put out a really good video about the new pricing. Shark Scrapper's got a really good video up about the new pricing of boards and stuff. So there's but yeah, if any of you sell boards, double check because there's been a whole new process. That's true, Patrick. Absolutely. They are there for themselves, and you're absolutely correct, Patrick. You know, everybody's got a business to run. Everybody's got to make money. But I think it was a healthy discussion. You know, I stood my ground, and it's a pretty good resolution. I'll take it for now. You know what I mean? It's as good as it's going to get, and you know, getting upgraded to a premium customer that gets paid more per pound overall. Yeah, like today. I only had some HMS, but they paid me for HMS for my entire load. I didn't have any number 1 copper. I had number 2, but he paid me an extra 20 cents a pound for it. So, you know, it is what it is, and I'll take it. Hello, Sledgehammer. How are you? All right. Yeah, I just want to try to get some of these apart to show you what's in here. These are all going to get processed. I'm going to sell them by the pound, but I won't put them into the store till I get them all done. So I'll clean these 2 things off. They just unscrew. I'll clean this off. We all know this should be extruded aluminum when it's cleaned off. I already know they're going to pay me old sheet, and old sheet plus a little bit. So it is what it is. So this I will also put in as a gold finger card. The gold fingers are here. There's a lot of gold recovery in the actual board itself. If you were to populate this board... Hi, Hector. Hey! How are you, Moyer? Long time no see. I know I've been a little bit in absentia. But these are some nice boards. So this will go as a gold finger card. There's gold recovery along the edges. There's IC chips. Pretty good for a home gamer for a gold recovery. I think you got some value here. You got some value here. Maybe not as much as it's in the RAM, but certainly some good value for gold refining. So these will be in as gold finger cards. Alright, let's finish up this puppy. I do have about a dozen small form Dell blade servers that I picked up. I picked them up. I bought them the other day. I picked them up this morning. On my way home from the scrapyard, I think we'll take one of those apart. I gotta get this too. It's like I said, you know, this is really just more about trying to get some of my stuff stocked up so I can get my eBay store stocked up and pay for all the e-scrap I just bought. I would like to thank you all very, very much for the support you've given me with my new business, which is going to be called e-scrap by the pound. Most of you know I put my music school up for sale. I actually put a for lease sign on it, and I'm hoping to retire from doing it full time. I've been trying to find somebody to buy it, but I'm going to keep the leasing business, which is a 1-year lease on the school year instruments. So I'm busy for like 3 weeks a year. But the monthly rentals are going to be gone. The teaching studios are going to be gone. The repair service is probably going to be gone. It's time. And I'm enjoying getting the house fixed up and trying to get out and do things that retired people are supposed to do. I don't know if that qualifies as e-scrapping. But, yeah, it's all good. In the meantime, I'm going to have to gut the house and rebuild it from stem to stern. I did have the contractor out to look at the bathroom floor yesterday. Those of you who follow me know we had a big flood on Mother's Day weekend, May 11th. And the water overflowed my kitchen sink. My whole first floor got flooded. My bathroom, which is adjacent to the kitchen, got flooded really bad. It went through, it got into the basement. We got everything dried out. There isn't any mold, but I was worried about structural damage to the bathroom floor, to the subfloor. And the guy came in yesterday, and he went down, he took a good look at it, the contractor. He said, no, these houses in this development where my parents' home was, were very well built. They used tongue and groove, and they used tongue and groove, and it was really well built. He said, you're not in any danger. He said, you got it dried out pretty quick. You didn't do any damage. You're not in any danger of your tub falling through the floor. That was good news. That was actually great news. So, it is what it is. It's a little inconvenient, but I'm safe. There's no mold. We got it cleaned up quick, and, we'll get it fixed up. Have a trip to Ireland. I can't wait, Patrick, to go back to Ireland. I absolutely had a ball. Oh my God, it's so much fun. I loved Ireland. Absolutely loved it. My mother and I went. We went this summer, I guess maybe the second summer after my father had passed on. We wanted to go to, one of my cousins was doing our family's genealogy, and Mom wanted to spend some time at Trinity College to see if we could find one or two missing links in my family. Missing links. And we actually did send quite a bit of stuff home. My mom actually was going to get dual citizenship because her grandparents and I think her father were from Ireland. But we didn't, and but it was really a great trip. I had a ball. Oh my God, it's so much fun. I don't care for Guinness though, believe it or not. It's a bit dark for me. I do like harps, and I drank enough of it that I came home pickled. Ed Goldman, greetings. How are you, my friend? I came home pickled. Let me tell you. That was great. We had the neatest tour guide too. The man really loved his country, and he just shared so much with us. It was great. He was a little bit dry and a little bit boring, but if you listen to what he had to say, he had a tremendous amount to share about his homeland, and it was a great trip. I had a good time. I really did. We had a Catholic nun. Every time we would go to the pubs, they would say, now, sister, behave yourself. She'd be the first one out with a pint, let me tell you. We went to go see an Irish comic whose name was Noel McGinnity. I'm sure he's long gone by now. He was old even then. He wasn't horribly off color, but every once in a while he would kick a bloop bloop bleeper in there. Sister would be like rolling on the floor laughing harder than any of us. Oh my God, she was a character. It was great. That was a good trip. It really was. Where's the... All right, now I have to ask this again. Hi, Vito. ¿Cómo está? All right, where's the mayonnaise? Somebody tell me what the hell I'm supposed to put mayonnaise on these computers. I hear it all the time. I have no idea what it means. Why would I put mayonnaise into my computer when I far prefer mustard? Somebody needs to explain that to me. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, I don't know, 3 or 4 more of these and I'll have a bag full. This is actually, I've got to finish this one before I turn in for the night because it's already sold. And I'll try to get a couple more out tomorrow. Somebody tell me about this mayonnaise thing. I know where's the beef is. I know what that is. Remember the old, where's the beef? See, these are the easiest things in the world to process. And I think it's a very good high quality gold pin. I don't think it's, there's probably, I'm sure some things are better, but these are awesome for gold recovery. Look at that. Gold! Leprechaun bait! Yeah, so I really have no idea what this thing with mayonnaise is. Everybody tells me that. I don't know what the heck it is. Someday somebody will actually answer me and let me know what it is. That I'm going to have to go Google it. I'll tell you, Google Lens is the most amazing tool in doing this business. There's so many parts that I didn't know what they were and I was able to identify them and everything else. Oh yeah, lots of good stuff. That's how I found out what these actually were. I thought they were blades like those HP things I did and the Dells that we did. No, these are memory modules. I went looking on eBay. They sell anywhere from $49 to $149 and then some. But you know what? I looked at the sold. They're not moving. And as I said, I do buy these from a guy who resells old technology. If he couldn't sell them, I'm not going to be able to. He needed the room. He made me a really good deal on them. I went and bought every one of them he could find. But I know what's in them, right? By taking these apart, and that's another reason I do these with you guys too. Know what's in there. There is money to be made e-scrapping if you know what you're doing. And if you just go randomly buy an e-scrap, hey, you're gonna lose money faster than at a horse race. It makes the computer tastier. I have no idea what that is. People keep saying put mayonnaise on it. Put mayonnaise on what? One thing I put mayonnaise on is tuna fish. And roast beef. Alright. Plugging along here, guys. As I said, I apologize for the redundancy, but I thought it would be fun to chat with some of you guys while I got some of my orders processed. We sold yesterday. I sold 4 pounds of RAM yesterday. I hope to get another batch ready tonight. I sold a pound of these gold fingers. I sell it pretty much by the pound. Yeah, and you know what? I don't know how to do any of that, Southern Scrapper. I gotta try to find somebody to help me who knows more about that than I do. I'm really TikTok ignorant. I'm an accidental TikToker. My family got me into all this, and gotta go ask the younger generation. Maybe they can show me and I can level it up a little bit. I don't know. I'm just happy to have people to hang out and scrap chat with. It's fun. Clint, I might have a little bit more of this. Maybe Monday. I'll shoot you an email if I do. It's at the top of my screen where I start my live. You mean that thing that says daily ranking? League match, explore. Hi, Sean, welcome. Angus, Cav, welcome. Hey, we're 5.7, guys. That's pretty awesome. If you are into micro scrapping computers for the components, I must suggest Scrapping Scotland. Boy, he takes this to a whole new level. He just scraps the crap out of stuff. Unbelievable what he gets for component recovery out of the computers. Like I said, I just get out what I know I can resell. But he takes it to a whole new level. Top of the screen before you start your live. Please repeat the name. My name? Oh, you mean Scrapping Scotland for the micro scrapping of computer stuff? He just takes it to a whole nother level. Unbelievable. And you know, you don't necessarily have to find computers, guys. There's a lot of stuff out there that can be scrapped. All kinds of electronics. My friend there, Patrick Williams, he's really good at micro scrapping stuff. He does a lot. You can catch his YouTube channel as well. That's Patrick Williams. He's been with me since I started the channel. He was really one of the first to give me a leg up on this. And some of these guys are over on YouTube as well. I'm on both because if you do a live and it goes over an hour, you can't repost it to TikTok. I have to repost it to YouTube. I started on YouTube, and then the kiddos got me into TikTok. I like TikTok's live format. Oh, you're welcome, Stacy. That's true. Actually, like Tim the Toolman Taylor says, more power. Alright, let's get this off of here. Trying to get another load. I got a load of these out to board sort yesterday. And he did buy him his telecom boards. That's aluminum, guys. Nice, heavy, clean aluminum. So, out of these modules, I got myself £1.5 maybe of copper. Again, I do have to knock that thing out, but it'll be number 2 copper. That I got $3.49 a pound for today. Clean aluminum, but it's probably a half a pound or so there. I got some RAM. Hang on, Southern Scrapper. I'll show those in a second. These you can just knock off. And that doesn't always work. It does on this because it has the tops. But what you don't want to do is bust the chip. And on these, I know they pop off really early, so I don't mean giving them a bit of a smack. I'll get the bracket off. Again, my buyer's going to get a nice value on these. And I did very well as far as what I got out of it. I got these pins. I got some RAM. And Southern Scrapper was asking about these fingerboards here. These are gold finger cards. I got one of these. And one of these. The gold is here on these. I got one of those and one of those out of each. So I'll have 100 of those pretty soon. So those sell Southern Scrapper as gold finger cards. Board Short sells them. All right, and I like these because these I can ship. That's another reason I went to these blade modules and these smaller things. Those gosh damn server boards, they cost a mint to sell, and now they've all been downgraded. All right, let me see if we can get one of these other servers apart. Now these just came in. I was going to save them for my live tomorrow. So maybe I'll only do one. But I've been going after these blade servers. Just really because they're easier for me to scrap than those hunkin' heavy things that weigh a ton. So this is... And again, I haven't done one of these yet, so if I embarrass myself on video, well, come along for the ride. This is, I know it's an IBM because that was what I went after, Property of the Iowa DOT. Wow. So this is a blade server that would slide into a cabinet or into a rack. See the size on this, how much smaller these are? No, those Southern Scrapper, those gold fingers came off of power supplies. They came off power supplies that had the gold fingers on them. You're right, they're very similar though. They're very similar. So let's see if we can get one of these apart. I haven't tried to take one apart yet, so you know how that usually goes for me. I usually make an arse of myself taking the first one apart, but that's okay. And I got to get this off, and then that'll be a nice piece of clean aluminum, for which I'll get old sheet. Can anybody explain this mayonnaise things to me? It's become a joke, and I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to Google Lens it and say, why do computer scrappers say, put the mayonnaise on it? I'll have to ask Siri. She usually just annoys the crap out of me. Blade server. System board. Let's see. Let me get this darling apart here, huh? Okay, I just hit an hour already. Gosh, guys, I'm having so much fun with all of you today. Just hit a verification for the hour, so that was what that was. All right, let's see if I can get this little thing, if I can get this little darling apart. I've not tried to take one of these apart yet. I know it's an IBM blade server, and once I get the cover off, maybe I can tell you a little bit better. That's what happens when you use a torque screwdriver to unscrew things. You get too much. Too much, too much, too much. Got a lot of tools on order. I'm having trouble getting small tools because these stupid supply chain issues. I was supposed to go to the hobby shop today and I didn't get there. I think Scrapping with Grandpa and Shark Scrapper both have some tools in their shops. Patrick, I know you do too, but hang on a second, guys. Let me grab the other screwdriver. This is going to be the last thing I get scrapped out tonight. I'm actually ready for a cold beer. I shouldn't have had enough last night to last me a week. Oh my God, the weather was so nice yesterday. My nephew's got the pool opened. And I can't even remember what we did. I brought lunch. Matthew cooked. I sat in the pool and did nothing. and we all got tipsy together. It was fun. I had a good time. I'm looking for my DeWalt screwdriver with the interchangeable bits and I'm not finding it. Why aren't you right here where you're supposed to be? Crap. I have a screwdriver. It's just not made for this. But there you go, just not too much. Nice and easy. You gotta finesse these things. Alright. Told you I haven't taken any of these apart yet. Somebody said, hold the screwdriver in place and turn the, Yes. Agreed. I can't believe that I can't find that one screwdriver. Crud. Oh well. We'll make it work, huh? Bet you I could get that off with a, I bet you I could get that off with a hex wrench. at it. Yeah, that could bring me up short on getting this done, guys, if I can't find that screwdriver. I can't wait to get the workshop moved permanently down to the basement. Right now I'm having lighting put in because my basement is so dark I can't see the work down there. But that's all coming. Of course, I'm having the kitchen redone, so I really don't want to destroy my renovated kitchen by doing e-scrap, you know. Yeah, he was here yesterday. Monday I'll get my... Ah, come on. Push and lift. This might have to wait till tomorrow's live, guys, because if I don't have the right tool, I can't... I don't want to waste time, you know. Yours or mine. I really would like to see what's in this thing. I'm going to mess up my nails. I really would like to get one of these apart tonight just to see what's in it. I have a DeWalt screwdriver that I absolutely love. It has interchangeable parts to it so you can change your bits really quick. But I have no idea where it is. Owens for your... Welcome. All right. Yeah, the problem is the screwdriver's actually too strong for this. Ugh, criminy crud. Push, push, and lift. And that ain't gonna work. Alright, I tell you what I'll do. I will fuss with this tonight. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I can get it apart. I'd love to just take a look. Aha! And this, by the way, is why I bought this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. She's pretty, guys. I'm glad you hung around for the reveal. Number 2 copper, number 2 copper. Oh, look at this. Wow. Oh my God. Southern Scrapper, you're going to drool with this RAM. Look at that. This is really old vintage RAM. I think I threw some of this in the last batch I sent you, Clint. This is vintage server RAM. Wow. That is some awesome stuff, let me tell you. That will go separately. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Some people will call these half rams. I don't know if you can see it in there, but look at the gold under here. Patrick, I think Irish should be drooling. He loves his gold, that man. Scrapping Irish. And, you know, just by comparison, these come off easy enough if you're into gold refining, but wow. This is beautiful. Wow. I sent you some. I sent you some, Southern Scrapper. I know I did. It might have been this size, though. But I definitely sent you some of that chunky RAM in one of the batches that I sent you. But yeah, you know what I'll do, Clint? When I send you your next batch of e-scrap, I'll pop a couple of these in there, and let me know when you scrap them. Wow, those are going to be beautiful. I've got I have 5 of these. Picked up a couple of hard drives. That was nice. So these are their IBM Blade servers. I don't have a model for you at the moment. Now let's dig in. This is going to be a very nice board. This is going to be an AMD chip under here because there's an AMG chip here. Wow. So gold banded BGAs, those are really good for gold recovery. Here's what I was talking about before with these. You got to be careful pulling these chips. If you can't get it, don't force it. Now I'll take this outside. I'll hit that with a heat gun tomorrow, and I'll be able to get that off, I hope. If you can't, your board buyer's not going to be too upset if you leave that on there. They're going to be upset if you rip the chip off trying to force it. So sometimes these heat sinks can be a real pain in the keister. Wow, this is a great board, guys. Very nice. Pretty sure I'll be able to get telecom high for this. I'll have to ask. But these vintage, here, look at the gold here. Holy crap. These older boards are unbelievable. So these screws, I think, were to these heat sinks, guys. Yeah, I've got a screwdriver downstairs. This is an impact wrench, and it's, even though I've got it set all the way low, it's yes, of course. Thank you, Patrick. I will. Thank you for reminding me. Patrick said remove the battery first, and those of you who follow me know I always say remove the battery first. You can't ship with that battery in there. It's illegal. And this was another thing I was telling you guys about the refineries. See, they're going to take this. Wow. I should be able to knock this aluminum off of here, I think. This is a push for number 2 copper. I got to hit this with the angle grinder. If this is copper, then I can put this in with number 2 copper. If this is aluminum and I don't clean it, or I don't knock this out of here, I'll get copper aluminum heatsink, which is 10 cents a pound. But yeah, that's one we'll clean up a bit. I think I just take a hammer and knock the crap out of it, and I'll be able to loosen the copper. It'll be number 2 because it's gonna be soldered with paste on here. Wow. I don't know if I can get this apart. I'll show you what I mean about the thermal paste. See, this is why even if you clean this up, you're never going to get number 1 copper for this, because no matter how much you clean it, it's been soldered with an aluminum paste to the board. So even at its best, this will go as number 2 copper, even if you clean it. Hey, Custom Computers! Did you have a good birthday party? I do, right? So, what was I saying? I don't remember. Crap. Oh, I was saying about the battery. So, for those of you who don't know how a refinery works, they'll send this board down the line. People will knock things and pick things and air chisel things off, and the board will wind up in a shredding machine. If there's a battery on here, it could cause a fire. If they find out it was your stuff that started a fire, guess whose ass is in the fire? So, yeah, if they see it on there, they're going to send your whole load back. I've seen it happen. Not my stuff, because I have friends who remind me, you went golfing for your birthday. That's nice. You had some nice weather. Glad it wasn't today. It's pouring in Connecticut. My poor little 3-year-old niece's birthday party got rained on. Of course, the kids didn't care. They were still out in the splash pad. We had to go drag them all in because we were afraid of thunder. Nothing like dragging 20 screaming 3-year-olds out of the splash pad because they didn't want to come in. They're like, it's raining anyway. We don't care. It's raining. You've got to come in, ladies and gentlemen, because it is thundering. I left right after that. Oh, my God. I felt so bad. It rained on her birthday last year, too. But a lot of us left just because the house was too crowded. And I enjoyed myself. It was good to see my family. But it's just as pressing on me that I've got all this e-scrap to do. And I want to get that done. Yeah, so this would be nice. A little bit of cleanup, as I said. If this is aluminum, which I tend to think it is, I'll have to knock that aluminum away and knock the copper out. If it's copper, I can just chuck this in with number 2 copper and not have to worry about it. But do you see why they will only give me they wouldn't give me anything better? It's because of the paste that's connecting the copper to the aluminum. It's an aluminum paste. It's almost like an aluminum solder. I don't know what else to call it, but it downgrades the copper. And this is a nice piece of cast. Now you had good weather for it, custom computer. You know, now that I've retired, there's supposed to be 2 things I'm supposed to like to do. One is the beach and one is golfing. Well, I love the beach. I'm the worst golfer you ever want to see. Hey Patrick, I'm gonna come to Ireland and try one of those Irish golf courses. Guys, I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of a golf course from Ireland. They're hills. They're amazing. It's like golfing off a mountain. I didn't believe the bus driver when he told me they were golf courses, but they are. That's a nice piece of cast. Yep. Now I'll put that in with cast. That's clean. There's no screws. There's no metal. Well, actually, I gotta check that. If this might be metal, I might have to put it in with old sheet. Again, that was another conversation with the scrapyard today because I do grade myself stuff so well. They're willing to give me a little more. So I'll have to hit that with a magnet. If it's magnetic, it's got to go old sheet. This is clean aluminum. There. You got to know your stuff, kids. JML, Alex, welcome. My goodness, we're popular today for 6 o'clock on a Saturday. It must be raining where all you are, too. This should be a pin CPU. Yes, I got my nails done. I don't know why I bother. I'm going to wreck them in about 2 days. I actually went because my feet were killing me. My feet were so bad. I run around barefoot all the time. I had to go get it done. All right. That is a very nice pinned CPU. This would sell as a pin CPU with a metal back. These are about the second best for gold recovery. I'm not sure what the current price on them is. See, the trouble with these are the ones I got out of the other IBMs. They're not pinned, so I don't know. I got a couple of people I'm going to ask about this. But yeah, these are pin CPUs. You know, I don't gold refine, so I'll sell those when I get a pound. This is socket 946, so it doesn't say AMD on it anywhere, because usually I would say this is an AMD socket. And I've got to go back and look. I can't tell you how I'm going to grade this because, as I said, they just changed all the grading this week. And I've got to take a look at it before I talk about it. I know it's a pin CPU and a darn nice one at that. Wow, we've got quite a few people in the house. Thanks, everybody. This is awesome. Welcome aboard. Wow. 11.4, checking in on the old D-Scrap. Man, I got wet. Still wet. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. First best what? So the best CPUs for gold recovery are the ceramic backs. These are the second best with the metal backs and pins. And then the least for gold recovery are the pinless. Wow. Got quite a house full. All right. Take a couple of hard drives all day, every day. Now, I do not resell my hard drives because I do worry about data recovery and so on and so forth. Wow. Come on. Come on out of there. You've got to come this way. Yeah, there you go. Huh. So this is a SATA connector. SATA. SATA connector. That's a heck of a board. I take these apart. I sell these by the. I do sell the board separately, and And then this I'll sell to a recycling center. That's gorgeous. Wow. Recyclers that have an R2 recycling certification, they have to destroy everything. But if I've picked up the material and not been told to destroy it, I don't have to. But with hard drives, I will never resell a hard drive. I'll resell the boards, but I only sell them to... You were just going to ask what about the hard drives, my friend? Oh, wife's birthday party. Happy birthday, Mrs. Southern Scrapper. Does your wife do the moderation on your life? I hear you're going to get her a goat bill for her birthday. Your mom's boyfriend just joined. There we go. Come on. There you go. Usually a backplane board where these connect, that's usually pretty good for gold. I'll get a couple more pieces of nice cast. These are really great boards. Wish they had the gold fingers on them, man. That's another whole bunch of stuff to grade our hard drives. SATA, non-SATA. And I've got videos up on all of those. Oh, that's good. You'll get great gold recovery out of them, Southern Scrapper, especially the older ones. I don't know if I'm going to get any into the store because I don't know how many I'm going to get. I know I've got about 20 downstairs. If I have a chance, I'll take them apart for you and I'll let you know that I have them. But yeah, you'll do great on gold recovery for that. Southern Scrapper does gold recovery on his channel, guys. He does a really good job with it too. I've been enjoying watching him scrap the stuff I sold him. It's fun. If I hadn't had a flood this week, I'd probably be watching a lot more. Alright, I'm going to get this bracket off. I'm going to get this board out of here because I want to show you the back. Nice piece of cast. This should be clean. This should be okay. I'll have to get that metal off. Remember, if there's any metal, you got to put it in with your light irony. This is not a battery. This is an old capacitor. There's a switch here. Some people will hold on to these switches for silver contacts. It's not something I do, at least not yet. All right. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, come on. You're not going to be that easy, are you? Huh. Yeah, I was going to save these for my live tomorrow. I'll do this one, and then I'm gonna head off. I gotta go get some warm clothes on. I'm freezing. We all got soaked getting the kids in out of the. They're all on the splash pad, and the heavens opened, and all us adults had to get the kids. They were just grabbing kids everywhere to get them inside, All right. As I said, I'll try and get these off. This I know is stuck, so I've got to try to heat it before I try to pull it. I'm not going to I don't want to rip the chip off because when my buyer buys this board, they're going to buy it expecting certain things to be on it. Now, one more thing to show you here. Come on, off with you. There's always one stinking little screw gumming up the works. You know that, right? Crap. I hope it's nice tomorrow. I really like to go live from the patio tomorrow. There we go. All right, so wow, this is going to be another really good board. I'm sure I can get High Grade Telecom for this again because of the gold recovery. I wouldn't have been able to 2 weeks ago, but they've done this whole. They're just done a whole new revamp on. It's got to do with boards that are pre-2020, which I've been blabbing about forever. Yeah, really great board. So this would be gold under here. There'd be gold above here, gold above here. This is one spot I always go after. Anything that's like a backplane board, that's something that plugs into something. I'm pretty sure there'll be good gold pins under here, like the ones I've been pulling. Probably something like these. So yeah, this would be a really nice board. So this would have graded as a dual plastic socket server motherboard. With the changes that, especially that board sort, you know, everybody's board sort. Well, they have been at it longer than anybody else, and nobody knows this better than they do. And because they were the first, everybody follows whatever board sort does. I love board sort. They're honest. I've had nothing but good experience with them, and I've always been fairly treated. We all have. That's why we all keep going back. So board sort changed their grading, which means now everybody's going to change theirs and follow what board sort's doing. When I price my e-scrap, I look at what board sort is selling it for. That's what I sell it for. Anyway, so I've got to find out if I can get telecom for this because of its age. There's a lot of chips here, a lot of gold recovery here. Chips. Just a really good board. I've got to get these off. I just think there's a good case for a telecom board based on the new grading. Before I had gotten dual plastic socket, and that would have been the end of it. The other thing I like about these size boards, I don't have a lot of waste on here, right? So if I sell this to one of you guys, there's not a lot of waste on here. You're going to get good value. You're going to get plenty of bang for your buck. There's not a lot of dead empty space on it like there is on some of the big rack-mounted servers. So these are very good boards for resale. I've got to see what I paid for them and then price it out. I might put a couple of these into the eBay store. I think there's good value on this board for you home gamers. Plenty of gold recovery here. If I can price it so that it's worth your time. This is 2005. Look at that. Well, you can't see it upside down. 2005. Older the golder, guys. I'm not going to reveal my sources, but let me tell you, I've been very lucky to, not to brag, it's because I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm looking for. When I go searching for boards to buy, I know what I'm looking for. And I hope these videos help you to do the same. And, yeah, Clint, check with me on Monday. Shoot me an email. You've got my number to text to too. You can just text me and see if I have any hard drive boards. I don't think I do, and I don't know if I can get any to you by next Saturday for your live. But we'll see. Anyway, so again, I would like to thank each and every one of you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed chatting with all of you. How cool is it that you can sit down, open up your phone, and before you know it, you're talking to people from all over the world? Now, I think that's cool. Don't you? I'm all wet. Ugh. Look at me. I look a wreck. Oh, God. I look a wreck, but that's okay. You guys love me anyway. Look, I don't look a total wreck. So, yeah, I'm going to sign off. Going to go get myself a cup of tea. I was going to go for a cold beer, but hot tea sounds like more like the order of business right now. And I'm going to process some more stuff out tonight, which, it's just more of the stuff. I do have e-scrap orders to fill, and I have to make sure I have material to do that. And I want to put some material into my eBay store, which is CT Band Instruments. And, all right. Take care. God bless. Thanks for joining. You can also find this video uploaded onto my YouTube channel, D-Scraps, E-Scraps, because TikTok won't let you post anything over an hour. So once it gets downloaded, I'll post it over on my YouTube channel. Thanks again, everybody. God bless. You're right, Sledgehammer. I am ready for dry clothes and a malt beverage. I think it's going to be probably dry clothes and a hot tea. I had enough malt beverages last night to last me for another week. See you in the morning, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.